The Oppressor MKII is hands down the most overpowered vehicle in the game. It's extremely useful, but some people like to use it for things such as griefing. So in this video, I'm going to show you the best vehicles you can use to counter the Oppressor MKII if you want to take down someone that's using it, or you're just tired of using it yourself and you want to switch it up a bit and use another vehicle. If this video goes on to help you out, be sure to drop a like, subscribe if you're new, and let's get into it. Let's start off with the P996 Laser. I'd say out of all the vehicles, this is the best at dodging rockets. Everyone knows what this thing's capable of. It's got several different weapons. It's got the explosive cannon, which is really good, and then obviously the lock-on and lock-off missiles. The tracking on the missiles is solid. It's not as good as the Oppressor MKII, but when you battle an Oppressor MKII, you gotta remember that it has a limited amount of rockets, and if you keep on dodging those rockets, which is very doable with a super fast jet like this, I think the main reason it's so good at dodging is because of how fast it is and how easy it is to move like that in there. The laser is much faster than the Oppressor MKII. You're able to dodge better than the MKII. The MKII does have countermeasures, but it does have a limited amount, just like the rockets. So let's say it's got the flares as the countermeasures. There's only a limited amount, and the laser does have unlimited rockets, so you can keep on spamming those homing missiles and really have the upper hand since you're faster and you have an unlimited supply of weapons to use. Plus, if you do get hit by a homing missile, if you do have your jet fully upgraded, it's not going to blow up right away. I think it takes like 2 or 3 missiles to fully blow it up, so you might be smoking after getting hit. The Oppressor MKII itself can counter the homing missiles from the jet because of its countermeasures, so you really have to either spam the Oppressor MKII with rockets until the guy runs out of flares, which in that case he might be screwed, or if you have really good aim with the explosive machine gun, that could be really useful, which in that case the flares can't really help since it's a direct hit with the explosive MG. Next up is going to be more of a land vehicle, not so much an air vehicle. It's actually not only a land vehicle, it can actually go underwater and act like a mini submarine, and that is the Tory Door. The Tory Door is a sick vehicle overall, not just because it could counter the Oppressor MKII, but since we're focusing on countering that overpowered vehicle, let's talk about that. First off, when it comes to armor, it's not that great. It's not really where it shines. If you don't have it upgraded at all, it might just take 1 missile to blow it up, and then if you have it fully upgraded, it might be a few, which is not that bad as long as it doesn't take just 1 and then it blows up right away. But it's very good when it comes to attacking. So the missiles of the Tory Door are one of the most aggressive missiles in the game, if not the most aggressive, meaning the tracking of the missiles is super accurate. The MKII Oppressor can easily handle 1 rocket, but because the tracking of the Tory Door's missiles are so good, if you just spam him with the Tory Door, that's going to be a big threat to the MKII, and I'm not sure the MKII is going to be able to handle so many. Besides that, there's several different ways you can dodge the Oppressor MKII's rockets. Sure, you might have to be in different scenarios, like if you're at the beach, you could just go in the water and then you're basically free. If you go in the water with the Tory Door and then you hold right on the D-pad, that's going to switch modes to like the mini submarine mode basically. And a big plus to this vehicle is that it's got the mini like rocket boost on the back, which makes it go super fast, and you can use it both on land and even underwater, which is awesome. I absolutely love the boost on this vehicle. There's only a select couple of vehicles that have these little rocket boosts on the back. I mean, for some it's not so little, but this one's really good mainly because it recharges super quick after you use it. After boosting 1 time, it recharges within like 2 seconds or something like that, so you can keep on boosting across the map. If you wanted to go flying up in there, you really could. You just need to find a small ramp and then just boost up, and then you could just go on with your journey across the map. So you might be able to use the boost as kind of like a dodging mechanism. Let's say your rocket's about to hit you, you can maybe boost, and then that's going to throw off the homing missile and then it misses you. And if you happen to fight a MKII Oppressor close to a body of water, I definitely recommend you guys use that to your advantage, because it won't be able to lock onto you as long as you're a good distance underwater. And by the way, these vehicles are in no particular order, but let's move on to what might be considered by many the absolute best counter to the Oppressor MKII, and honestly just a lot of different vehicles griefers use in general. It is the Buffalo STX along with the Amani Tech. The Amani Tech upgrades on it are really what makes it superior against getting blown up. One of the upgrade options for the Amani Tech is the missile lock-on jammer, and that basically makes it where no one can lock onto you with no matter what vehicle. Homing missiles are just not going to work on you, and they're going to have to use lock-off missiles and hit you a good amount of times to actually blow you up, because if you put on armor on this thing, it's going to take a good couple rockets to blow you up. And if no one can lock onto you and you're constantly driving and someone's just after you, an Oppressor MKII is most likely going to run out of rockets before they can hit you like what, 5 or 6 times, however many times it is. So the missile lock-on jammer upgrade along with the armor plating tracking upgrade is so freaking good. It's the ultimate armor and protection, you can say. When it comes to armor and protection, this vehicle is top of the pack. You just can't get more protection than you have on this vehicle with these two upgrades. When it comes to attacking, the Buffalo STX is pretty weak. I mean, you can't do much with it. The best it has is just a weak machine gun that's never gonna do anything to a Mark II Oppressor, because you can only shoot forward at all times. So it's not like you can really aim with it. You just have to position your car, and you can't shoot up, which is probably where the Mark II Oppressor is gonna be. So that little minigun on the front, you really can't do anything. Your best bet would be to throw sticky bombs as high as you can in the air and try to hit the Oppressor Mark II. But besides that, attacking wise, the Buffalo STX doesn't really have anything that's gonna be too dangerous. Moving on to something that's the complete opposite of the Buffalo STX, and you'll see why in a bit. We're gonna talk about the Scramjet. Now, the reason it's the complete opposite of the Buffalo STX is because in terms of armor and protection, it is very prone to getting blown up. I think every single explosive in the game can blow it up with one shot, whether it's a rocket, a homing missile, an explosive sniper rifle. So it's safe to say in that category, it's definitely not ideal to say the least, but it can attack pretty well. Unlike the Buffalo STX, it's got the homing missiles, and the tracking on the missiles is amazing. It's one of the best in the game. Is it as good as the Tory Door? Not quite, but it's definitely up there. They're very aggressive, and if you spam them, you can definitely be a threat to a Mark II Oppressor. The Scramjet's dodging ability can be solid, I think. I'd like to say its mechanism is the jump boost and the rocket boost it's got on the back. It's got two different types of boosts, which makes this vehicle overall very fun to use. If you press down on the left stick on your controller, you can boost up in there, and then when pressing A or X on PlayStation, you can do the rocket boost, which then just launches you wherever your vehicle is pointing to. I personally enjoy jumping and then directing the vehicle to the sky and then doing the rocket boost, and then you go flying. And the rocket boost on the Scramjet lasts for a pretty long time. It's gonna be boosting for a good couple of seconds, definitely a lot longer, maybe like triple or quadruple as long as the Tory Door's boost, but the Tory Door's boost does recharge way quicker, so it's kind of a trade-off between these two types of boosts. And for some honorable mentions, first we have the Hakiii helicopter. It's the most armored helicopter in the game, and it does have stealth mode, which could be pretty useful. Who knows, you might be able to sneak up on the Oppressor Mark II. If you don't know, you're completely off the radar while in stealth mode, and it's not like you have a timer on it like you call Lester or you turn on Ghost Org. And you do have a nice variety of weapons with that helicopter too. And then another honorable mention is the Champion. Like the Buffalo STX, it also has the Monty Tech upgrades you can put on it, and also the armor plating, and it is a supercar, which is really nice. So not only does it have these awesome upgrades, but it's a supercar, so it's nice to drive around the map too. And also another good option would be the fully upgraded Ruiner 2000. And if you want to see the best cars to buy for racing in GTA Online, click the video on screen now. I hope you all enjoy that video, and peace.